in this video you want to discuss the idea of compound angles in trigonometry, right? So you have this thing in trigonometry, so that's the main topic here. But the idea of compound angle here is that the word compound means something like a multiple or more than one. Is that okay? So multiple or more than one. So the idea is that we are going to use this simple scenario to demonstrate that. Now this is what we are given. We are given the sine of a plus b, right? So a plus b, sine of this guy plus this guy is equal to sine a cos b plus cos a then sine b, right? So we are given that this one is equal to whatever is here, right? So let's have a simple scenario. Let's say that the probability or the chance that a pregnant woman will give birth to a boy and a girl, right? So maybe that will be a twin. So the sign that that pregnant woman will give this guy, this one can be the boy here, right? And then here will be what? The girl, right? So the chance that the pregnant woman will deliver a boy and a girl is equal to everything here, right? So the boy and the girl, and then maybe here to that and that. That's just a simple scenario for understanding people. Is that okay? So the idea of a compound here is that the multiplication of two things, right? So maybe the addition, we are combining two things together, right? So here can be addition or subtraction. The most important thing here is that you should know how this guy is being defined, right? So if you want to know more about this, make sure that you comment down below. Is that okay? So the idea is that the sine of a plus b, so the sine that the pregnant woman will deliver a boy and what, a girl here, is equal to everything here. Is that okay? That is the most important thing. Now they say you should find the value of sine for 105, right? 105 degrees. So you should find the value of this guy. And this is what we are giving. This is what we know that we are giving, that this is the sign that the pregnant woman will give birth to twins. That's the boy and the girl. Is that okay? So they say you should find the sign. The trick here is that you should split this guy into two, because this is what we are giving. We don't know anything aside of this guy. This is what we are giving in this case. In some cases, you will not be giving, but here you are giving to narrate this guy, right? So this guy is the sine of a plus b, meaning that the sine of the first person plus the sine of the second person here is equal to everything here, right? This is one thing you have to. If you don't know this, you can never solve this problem. So they say you should find this this sine for 1. So the trick is you should split this guy into two for what we are giving, right? So sine of what? 105 degree, that should be equal to this. You have to split this number to switch something that looks similar to this one. Obviously whatever you are having in the bracket, there are two, so let's split this guy into two. So we are splitting this guy into what? Your own numbers, right? So into your own numbers, you can split this guy to sine of what? 60 plus 45, right? If you have any different idea, that is fine. So this one is the same as what? Sine of what? 60 plus 45. Is that okay? Right? So that is just the trick. So this 60 plus 45 here will give us 105. Why are we doing this? We are doing this thing to look similar to the one that we are here giving. Obviously that there are two people here. Is that okay? So these are two people. So all that you have to do here is just to plug this guy into this method here, because we are giving that sine of a plus b is equal to that. So sine of which is a 60 plus 45 degrees here, 60 degrees plus 45 degrees is equal to who comes first? So sine of a. So a is the first person, right? So a is the first person. So sine of a, which is 60 degrees here, and then here we are having cos b, right? So cos of what? B is the second person, that is 45, then plus, right? So plus what? So who came here? Cos a. So cos a is 60, right? So a is 60 degrees, and then sine of what? Sine of b, that is 45 degrees, right? So this is very simple and straightforward. Is that okay? So this is how you split up this type of problem. So here all I have to do, just have to solve sine of what? Sine of 60 here. So comment down below. I guess you should pause the video and come back and check the solution on this. And so sine 60 cos 45, and then cos 45 cos 60, sorry, and then sine 45, and then you just combine everything together. So once you split these two people, this is exactly what that we are going to have. So sine 60 will give us 1/2, and then cos 45 will give us negative 4/5. So the same answer applies to the second part here. So you have to multiply this guy by that. That will give us negative 2/5. And then here to here, you multiply that should be 3 root 3, everything divided by. So this will be your final answer to this method of solving the problem. Right, let's look at a more complicated one in the next question. Here's the next question that says that you are given this, you are given sine of alpha, right? So this is alpha minus of beta is equal to sine alpha cos beta minus of cos alpha sine beta, right? Don't let this beta and sine disturb. You can replace this thing with anything of your own choice. For simplicity, we can say that the first person and the second person. Is that okay? That is just for understanding. You see, the trick here is that you are giving, right? So if you are telling you use this whiteboard marker to write on this whiteboard, this is what you are giving, so you have to use it. There's no other method to that, right? So that's just an instruction, so you have to obey the instruction. So if you are giving this marker to use it against this board, you have to use it. So if you are giving this thing, and then this is what they are asking us to find. They say you should show that sine of 2 alpha is equal to 2 sine alpha cos of alpha. Is that okay? We are going to show. So look at the shaking, or maybe sometimes I can ask you to prove that this guy here is equal to that. Always, if they are asking you to prove, you only have to pick one side of the equation, and then you solve it, and then you arrive at the answer to be the right hand side. So always, most at times, but it is not always, right? So most at times, you always start from what? The left hand side, right? In some cases, which is not all that obvious, sometimes you can start from the right to the left. I will demonstrate this in the solution, so make sure that you watch the video to the end. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up. If you have any question, make sure that you comment in the comment section below. Now let's begin. We are going to show that this guy here, this guy is equal to that. So this is what we are asked to. So sine of 2 alpha, right? So alpha is equal to, so this is the structure, everything here, blah, 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 blah. And then your final answer here should be the what? The one on the right hand side, right? That's you cannot work with your two legs. So if you want to prove something, you pick the left and one side of what the equation being given, then you show that it is equal to what the right hand. So we are using the left hand side here, which is this one, but this is what we are given, so you have to use this thing somewhere. Is that okay? So where can we use this thing? So looking at the situation here, looking at the trick here is that this guy here, sine of 2a here, if you are looking at this 2a, right? So 2a can be equal to sine of what? Into brackets we have what? A minus what? Minus a, right? So that's just a simple what scenario. Doesn't make sense. I'm just rewriting this guy here to be what? A minus a, which is the same thing. So a here minus that this guy tends to be positive. That will be what? A plus what? A, right? Which is equal to what? 2a. Is that okay? The 2a here is exactly what we are having here. So the trick, why are we doing this? We are doing this thing because we want to use this guy, right? See, this is what? A subtraction in between, right? So that's why we are having the subtraction here, right? If you choose to write it this way, a plus a, then you are not going to have the subtraction. This is what we are giving. We want to use this method. Is that okay? So that is just a simple trick and a scenario for you to understand and obey. So with this one, we can see that this guy looks similar to whatever we are having here. So our first guy here, which is this a here, will be the alpha, right? The minus here is the minus that we are having in between here. And then the second one, which is what? The negative of a here will be what? Our beta, right? So that is very, very simple. You can see that our alpha here is equal to a, and then the beta is equal to negative a. Can you see that? So that is the subtraction between as it stands from what? The question being given. So all that matters is that we are just going to replace, just like in the case of the first example. All right, so now let's move on. They say this guy here is equal to sine of alpha, which is the first one. So this is equal to sine of what? Alpha, which is the a here, and then followed by what? Cos what? Cos beta. Beta is the second person, right? So beta, that's your negative a here, and then here we are going to have minus what? Cos what? Cos alpha here, which is what? A, right? So alpha, which is the a here, and then followed by what? Sine beta. So sine beta, so beta is negative a, right? So negative a. That was what? Very, very simple way to do. So you just need to take off the bracket, combine everything together, and then let's see what you get. You may pause the video and try this in your. I say congratulations for just trying. Whether you have it correct or not correct, right? So you just need to make a first attempt and come and check the solution. Now let's continue. Here we are going to have what sine of what a, and then cos of a here, cos of negative a would tends to be or cos a, right? So cos a, right? So and then here what cos of a negative number, okay? Here tends to be what cos of cos a, right? So here we are going to have what. Yeah, obviously this minus, okay, minus, then let's bring this minus, we are taking this negative out, so negative of cos of a and then sine what, sine a, right? We are bringing this negative out here, so you can see that this negative and this negative tends to be a positive. That also be a sine of a and then cos a plus, right? So this guy tends to be plus of cos a and then what, sine a. Whatever is here is the same thing that is here. If you can't see clearly, just that this guy comes before the cos. So let's rearrange this guy for the sine to be first and then the cos should follow, right? Multiplication are commutative. Is that okay? So here we are going to have what sine a, then cos of a, and then plus of sine a, and then cos a, right? So we are just rearranging. So whatever is here is the same thing that we are seeing, just like in the case of, let's say, s plus s, right? So s plus s, that will be equal to 2s, right? So that's very simple. So here what are we are going to have? We are going to have 2 of sine a and then what cos a, right? So this is exactly what they are asking us to prove, right? Have you seen? Right, so this is what you're having. You have 2 sine a and then cos a. So this is how simple you prove some of the questions under our compound. Anything that you want to see under compound angles, make sure that you comment down below. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this.